Okay, somebody please confirm. Am I audible and visible both?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes. Okay. Good evening to all of you. How are you all?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Okay. So everyone, in the morning session, we almost completed our chapter called audit sampling, right? So we have to do one small topic called data analytics in the audit sampling, and after that, we'll be starting with our another chapter called analytical procedures today, and we'll try to wind it up. Let's see whether we can complete it or not. So in the morning, we had a discussion on the 4 different methods of audit sampling, everyone. What are the 4 different methods? We have the simple random selection method. We have the stratified random selection method. We have the block sampling and cluster sampling. And after the discussion of all these methods, what was our output and what was our conclusion, everyone? Which method is the best method?
Stratified.
Stratified random selection. Why stratified random selection is the best method? Because it gives us an opportunity to select the sample from each and every type of stratum. Am I correct or not? Right, everyone? Chalo. So let me just switch on the chat box, and after that, we'll be starting. Okay, great. Now, so let me just take you to the topic which we are left with in this particular chapter, and after that, we'll start with the next topic. So today we have to finish off this part called data analytics. There is data analytics. Yeah, data analytics. Anyways, about the data analytics, we have to, do it in a very detailed manner when the audit in automated environment will come, which is going to be our next to next topic. Right or not, there we'll understand this in a more detailed manner. But before that, let us complete this thing, data analytics wala point. Now, data analytics is defined as a what? It is defined as a process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data with a goal of highlighting useful information, suggesting conclusions, and supporting decision making. For example, JE testing is a data analytic tool. So basically, guys, what do you mean by data analytic tool is? Data analytics is all about, like, suppose you are about to select a sample. Am I correct or not? While selecting a sample, only looking at the population, you will read the population in such a manner, you will understand the population in such a manner. Sorry, what happened? Any problem?
No, sir.
Okay, everything is going perfect, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Now, what do you mean by data analytics, everyone? Data analytics means it is defined as a process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, modeling the data with the goal of highlighting useful information and suggesting the conclusions and what? Supporting decision making. For example, JE testing is a data analytics tool. So basically what while doing the sampling only, we should all understand one fact that at the time of doing the sampling only, we have to read the population in what happened? Disturbance is coming. Archan. Okay, so I'll start it again. No issues. Okay, so what is data analytics, everyone? Data analytics means when we see the population, right or not? In the population, so much of data will be there. Now, by analyzing the population and by analyzing that data only, we should have that kind of experience in our hand. We should be in a position to say that what is to be inspected, what is not to be inspected. Are you getting the point? It means making a choice between the material and immaterial data. Tell me, everyone, for the purpose of the audit, are you going to waste your time on the immaterial data or material data? Tell me, are you going to invest your time in material data or immaterial data? Material data. So, but how you will come to know that whether some data is material or not? So basically, while doing the computerized audit, there I will tell you this practical example. Let me give you one small example today also. Tell me everyone, where the chances of bad debts are more, the debtors with a less credit period policy or the debtors with a high credit period policy? Means is there are some set of debtors to whom I'm giving only 30 days of credit, and there are some set of debtors to whom I'm giving 6 months of credit period. Now tell me, where the chances of bad debts are going to be higher? More, obviously. So where we are giving the more time for the credit policy, there the chances of bad debts will be higher. But now imagine that you are doing the audit of a company size like Reliance India Limited. Now in the Reliance India Limited, there will be 50,000 to 60,000 debtors. Now in all those debtors, how you will come to know that whether particular data is important or particular data is not important? You will use one tool called data analytics. This is one of the kind of software. Now this software you will apply on the accounting software of your client. And after applying on the accounting software of the client, what it will do, this particular software will start filtering the data what you are looking for. What do you mean by filtering the data? Say for example, I'm interested in those kind of debtors who are in debt with the company for more than 180 days. It means if the debtor has not made me the payment for more than 180 days, chances of recovery are high or chances of recovery are low. Tell me everyone in the comment box, chances of recovery is very low. But out of the 50,000 debtors, how I will come to know that which one is a good debtor or which one is a bad debtor or which one is a good debt or which one is a bad debt? So data analytics is a tool which helps in basically filtering the useful information which we are looking for. Are you getting the point or not? And on the basis of that useful information, we will be in a position to draw the conclusions. Are you getting the point? And if somebody will ask me, Rohit, on what basis you are saying that this is your conclusion? That data analytics will help me in getting the evidence also so that I can support my decision making. Did you all understand? I just gave you the small introduction of data analytics. So basically, data analytics is a tool which helps you in filtering the data in such a manner by which you will come to know that which one is a material data and which one is an immaterial data, and you will get the more useful information and the useless information will be filtered. So can I say that it saves your time, effort and energy? Yes or no? Does it save your time, effort and energy? Answer is yes. So this is what was the small topic which we were left with in the data analytics. So with that everyone, our essay 530 is over. Clear everyone? So in the 530, if you have any kind of doubt, anybody can ask me those doubts. And if no doubt, then we can proceed to our next chapter called analytical procedures. Everyone, anybody is having a doubt? So assuming no one is having a doubt, so let's proceed with the next chapter. What is our next chapter, everyone? The next chapter is analytical procedures. Sir, what do you mean by analytical procedures? Let's go back to our main place where we have understood or where we learned this thing for the first time. If you all remember and if you all agree with me, this is the first place where we understood that term called audit procedure. Can anybody tell me what do you understand by audit procedures? What we learned in as per SA 500? As per SA 500, what do you mean by audit procedures, everyone? How many types of audit procedures are there? Tell me everyone. Two types of audit procedures. Very nice. What are the two types of audit procedures, everyone? There are two types of audit procedures. One is known as RAP and another one is known as FAP. Everyone, what do you mean by RAP? Risk assessment procedures. From the risk assessment procedure, what the auditor comes to know? Auditor comes to know about the ROMUM on financial statement level and ROMUM on assertion level. Am I correct or not? So he'll come to know about the ROMUM on financial statement level and ROMUM on assertion level. Can anybody tell me what are the techniques of RAP we have done? There were so many techniques of the RAP we have done. Inspection was the technique, if you all remember. Observation was one of the technique, if you all remember. We have done one technique called inquiry and confirmation. Right or not? inquiry and confirmation. If you remember, I told you MRL, and if you remember, we know this one called recomputation or recalculation. Am I correct or not? So these are the various techniques from where we came to know about the RAP. Now, when we came to know about the RAP, after that only we'll decide what kind of FAP, further audit procedures, the auditor has to apply. Am I correct or not? And when we talk about the FAP, everyone, can anybody tell me FAP is further classified into how many?
Two.
Yes, two. What are the two?
TOD,
TOC. First one is TOC and
and
substantive procedures. No, TOC and substantive procedures. Are you getting the point? Now, what do you mean by TOC, everyone? TOC stands for test of controls. TOC stands for test of controls. So, by doing the test of controls, what do we come to know? We come to know about the operational effectiveness of internal control system. Do you all agree with that? Yes or no? We come to know about the operational effectiveness of internal control system. If the operational effectiveness of internal control system is very high, then I will restrict so many things to my TOC only, and I will use less substantive procedures. But if the operation, sorry,
procedure.
if the
Yes.
if the operational effectiveness of internal control system is very poor, then I will immediately change my focus from TOC to which procedures, everyone? Substantive procedures. Am I correct or not? And if I'm not wrong, in the substantive procedures, you have two. What are the two? One is the substantive analytical procedures. Are you getting the point? Substantive analytical procedures, and one you have TOD. What is TOD, everyone? Testing of details. In the testing of details, further there's a classification TOT and TOB. If you all remember, the same chart we have done in our SA 500. Is it correct or not? Everyone, is it correct or not? Just give me 1 second, everyone. Give me 1 second. My dog is barking a lot, so I'm getting a disturbance. Let me just come back. Okay. Everyone, please confirm. Am I audible? Yes? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, in the audit procedures under SA 500, we understood this whole chart. Am I correct or not? Now, in the whole chart, what we are going to do, if you remember, at that point of time, I completely told you to ignore SAP, because I told you that for the what do you say, a substantive analytical procedure, I told you that we are going to do it separately. Do you all remember that or not? And if you remember in the chart, I wrote like this also. This one is SA 520. So this will do it in 520 at that point of time. So this is the time now we are going to understand everything about the analytical procedure. So in simple language, if I have to tell you what is SA 520 and what is analytical procedures, everyone, it's a very simple thing. What do you mean by simple thing? Say, for example, it's completely opposite to TOD. If we'll talk about the AP, analytical procedure, it is completely opposite to TOD. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by TOD? I need a meaning, not the full form. Can anybody tell me what do you understand by TOD? TOD stands for testing of details. That we know. Testing of details means what? Do we do the checking from the above only, or we go into the detailed manner?
Detail.
Detailed manner. Each and everything we are going to check or not? Yes. So say for example, I can say TOD stands for TOT and TOB. TOT stands for vouching and TOB stands for everyone
Yeah.
verification. Am I correct or not? And in the vouching and verification, basically I am going to test what? Assertions. And if you remember the definition of assertions, what do you mean by assertions? I will check existence. I will check ownership. I will check valuation. I will check occurrence. I will check completeness. All these things, if you all remember, I'm refreshing your things. I'm going to check nature, extent, all those things. These are known as assertion. So here we are doing something in detail. But remember one thing, there are so many places in the audit, or there are so many areas in the audit where the TOD is not required. There are so many places in the audit where the TOD is not required. At that point of time, you can easily complete your audit in a less available time with the help of one procedures. That procedures are known as analytical procedures. So let me give you a very simple example. Suppose I want to check my client's liquidity. I want to check my client's liquidity. I want to have an information on my client's liquidity. So everyone, please tell me, if I want to check the client's liquidity, means what? Should I verify its cash balance, or should I verify its bank balance, or should I calculate the current ratio? Tell me,
Current
what's
year.
current
Yes,
ratio?
yes.
Everyone, please tell me what is the formula of current ratio? Current assets divided by current liabilities. And if I will compare the current year current ratio of my client with the last 5 years, and suppose this is the answer, 3 is to 1, 3 is to 1, 2 is to 1, and 1.33 is to 1, and 0.5 is to 1. This is the current year. Please tell me, look at the last 4 years and tell me, as compared to the last 4 years in the current year, what is the current ratio of my client? Is it increasing or it is decreasing?
Decreasing.
Decreasing. So that shows what? Now tell me, is it completely a positive working capital with my client, or it is completely negative working capital now?
Negative.
It's a negative. It's a bad sign. Are you getting the point? Or it means I have only 50 paisa in my pocket to pay my liability of 1 rupee or not. That shows my poor client's liquidity. Are you getting the point? My client's poor liquidity, it shows. So tell me one thing, did I verify each and every cash, how much bank balance they have? No. I simply calculated one current ratio, compared it with the last 5 years. I saw the trend, and from the trend, I came to know about what? Liquidity position of my client. Now, same thing, if I want to check the solvency of my client, everyone, if I want to check the solvency of my client, everyone, should I calculate the current ratio or debt by equity ratio? Debt by equity ratio. Now, in the debt by equity ratio, up to the last year, my client's debt by equity ratio was ranging from uh, 2 is to 1 to 3 is to 1. That is the last 5 years result. But current year में suddenly my client's debt equity ratio is 0.5 is to 1. Everyone, please tell me, what is it indication? Is it a good indication or is it a poor indication? It is a very good indication. Anybody can explain me why it is a good indication? It means I have only 50 paisa of the debt on my head and I have 1 rupee of my equity. It means own funds are 1 rupee and outside funds are only 50 paisa. Am I clear to all of you or not? That shows my client's solvency is going towards a bad manner or it is a good solvency.
Good.
Good solvency. So this is called analytical procedures, everyone. This is what do you mean by analytical, where you don't have to do something in detail. Just calculate some minor ratios and you will be able to get your results properly. Am I crystal clear to all of you? Yes or no? Yes, this is called analytical procedure. Like, say for example, another practical example. Say for example, there are 40 employees at my client's place. Am I correct or not? And he's showing 13 lakhs, or you can say 1 crore 30 lakhs of what? Or you can say not 1 crore 30 lakhs. You can say that he's showing, um, yeah, you can say that he's showing 1.5 crores. 1.5 crores of salaries and wages. He's showing 1.5 crores of salaries and wages. Now tell me one thing. Do you have to calculate each and every employee's salary into each and every month? That is the one method by which you can do the detailed thing. You will tell to the company, show me your client register. Oh, sorry, show me your employee register. In the employee register, 40 employees are there. How much salary you have paid to each employee each month? Like that, you will verify each and every pay slip. And after that, you will come to the conclusion, okay. I can agree that it is 1 crore 50,000. Or can I say that simply you just ask one of your manager, what is the average outflow per month goes from your pocket? He said that, sir, average outflow is approximately 16 lakh rupees per month we pay to our clients. 16 lakh rupees per month we pay to our employees. So 16 lakh rupees into 12 months, guys, how much? 16 lakh rupees to into 12 months, how much, everyone? Approximately it is coming to, if I'm not wrong, 1 crore 72 lakhs. Am I correct or not? If I'm, no, 1 crore 92.
92.
Yeah, 1 crore 92 lakhs. Are you getting the point? 1 crore 92 lakhs. Now, please tell me, what is the difference between the debit and credit? How much they are debited actually?
1,450 lakh.
And how much is actual according to their point of view?
1,492
Now
lakh.
tell me, is it a reasonable difference or not? Yes, it is a reasonable difference. What is the difference, everyone? Approximately 42 lakhs of difference is coming, guys. Approximately 42 lakhs of difference is coming. Now tell me, do I have a right to question that to the employee or not, to the client or not? Yes. So I asked him why this difference of 42 lakhs is coming. Why you have underpaid 42 lakhs? Where is this 42 lakhs? It should be debited and I'm nowhere able to see any kind of debit. Then he told me that, sir, 3 of the employees left after 6 months only. 3 or 4 of the employees left after 6 months only. Like that, he gave me the, shown me the evidence and all. And I immediately came to the conclusion, within half an hour, the things got sorted. And that is how we use the analytical procedure. Are you getting the point? So sometimes going into detail is going to waste your time. I'm not saying that it is complete waste technique. No, there are some areas where the analytical procedure is the best method, and there are some areas where the TOD is the best method, and there are some areas where the good combination of both of them, TOD as well as analytical procedure, both are required. But again, it all depends upon whose judgment, everyone? Auditor's judgment, whether he wants to go for TOD or he wants to go for what? Analytical procedure. Now, what do you mean by analytical procedure? Now, let's say for example, you are the auditor of Vodafone. You are the auditor of Vodafone Idea company. And you see that ki Vodafone Idea is only earning 8% of net profit. 8% of net profit it is earning. Are you getting the point or not? Whereas as per the market research, every telecom company should earn at least 25% net profit. And when you checked it with whom? When you checked it with Airtel, when you checked it with Jio, Airtel is earning 30% and Jio is earning 32%. Now tell me, everyone, who is going as per the market and who is completely going in the opposite direction as per the market?
Vodafone is going
Yeah.
completely going to
Yeah,
opposite to the market.
Airtel is getting 30%, Jio is getting 32%, industry rate is going on 25%, whereas the Idea Vodafone is able to only fetch how much? 8%. It means there is some problem with the internal control system or the functioning of Idea and Vodafone or not? Yes.
Yes.
This is called analytical procedure. And what I told you just now, called interfirm and intrafirm comparisons. Did you all understand the point or not? Yes. So there are some areas where the testing of details is can be there, but it is not required. At that point of time, you can save your time. And how you can save your time? You can save your time by using the which procedures, everyone? Analytical procedures. So in this chapter, we are going to understand that thing only. I hope introduction of the chapter went inside your head or not. Yes, everyone? Yes. So if there is any doubt, you can ask, or if there is no doubt, we can start with our concept number 1. Okay, so assuming that there is no doubt, so we are starting with the meaning of analytical procedures. Everyone, please try to understand each and every word written in front of you. We are going to start with the meaning. Since routine checks cannot be depended upon to disclose all the mistakes and manipulations that may exist in the accounts, certain other procedures also have to be applied, like trend and ratio analysis. Did I tell you the same thing or not? It is not always possible to say that, it is not always correct to say that ki TOD will give you the best result. Sometimes the trends, sometimes the ratio analysis will give you the better result as compared to TOD. Do you all agree with me? Yes or no? That is what is written in the first 2 lines, everyone. These collectively are known as overall test. Analytical procedures have acquired a lot of significance as a substantive audit procedure. SF 520 on analytical procedures discuss the application of analytical procedure during an audit. So nowadays it is becoming very popular because you all know that today's auditor is having a time or not having a time. Tell me, everyone, today's auditor is having a time or not having a time? He's not having a time. So when today's auditor is not having a time, then in that case, don't you think that analytical procedure is a blessing for him? Yes. Are you getting the point? So it is one of the most important substantive procedure which is nowadays becoming very popular because today's auditor does not have sufficient time to do an audit or ample of time to do an audit. Clear, everyone? Yes, sir. As per the standard on auditing 520, what is analytical procedure? It means evaluation of financial information through analysis of, what is this word, everyone? Plausible relationships. What do you mean by plausible relationships among financial and non-financial data? Remember one thing, analytical procedures are not going to be applied only on the basis of financial data. It also takes into consideration financial as well as non-financial data. Are you getting the point or not? But whatever the data you are using, there should be a plausible relationship among them. Now let me ask you one thing. While calculating the liquidity of the company, did I use the debt by equity ratio method or current ratio method? Tell me, everyone. While calculating the liquidity, did I use debt by equity ratio or current ratio? I use the current ratio. Why I use the current ratio? Because current ratio formula is what? Current assets divided by what? Current liabilities. Now current assets and current liability means what? These are those assets and liabilities which are easily convertible into cash within a span of maximum life is 12 months. Am I correct or not? That is what the major difference of, that is what the major definition of the current assets and current liabilities. Are you getting the point? So while calculating the liquidity, why I chose current ratio? Because current ratio will give me the better idea about the liquidity of my client rather than calculating via debt by equity ratio. So there should be a plausible relationship among the financial and the non-financial data. Are you getting the point or not? Now, everyone, please tell me, should I say that the accounting system of every entity should be highly strong? Tell me, how many of you agree with me? The accounting system of every entity should be highly strong and highly competent. Yes or no? Yes, it should be highly strong and highly competent. So that is called financial information. But my question is, who runs the accounting system? Is it the computers or is it the human resource runs it? Human resource.
Both.
Yeah, both. So if I'm saying that if the accounting system you expect to be very much strong, at the same point of time, your human resource also should be very much qualified and competent or not? Yes or no? Yes. So you have a financial and non-financial data. You establish some plausible relationship among themselves. and you get a what output? You get what? You get analytical procedures. So everyone, what is the definition of analytical procedure? Analytical procedures is an evaluation of financial information through the analysis of plausible relationship among what? Financial as well as non-financial data. Analytical procedure also means includes investigation as is necessary for the identified fluctuations and relationships that are inconsistent with other information that differ from the expected values by significant amount. Now, my question is very simple. What was the example we have done just now? We did one example that there are 40 employees and they debited 1.5 crores on the debit side of their P&L account as a salaries and wages. When we calculated, say for example number 1, when we calculated, my calculation is saying it is 1.52 crores. But case number 1, my calculation is saying it is 1.52 crores. Now tell me, is it a very significant difference or very small difference is there? It's a small difference. It is manageable. It is what? Manageable. But when my actual what do you say, testing of details, when I did the testing of details, I came to know that it should be it is 1.92 crores now. Now tell me, is it a significant difference or it is a huge difference? It is a small or huge one? Huge one. So that is what analytical procedure is all about. Analytical procedure helps you in identifying the differences between your expected results and actual results. If the expected results and actual results are near to each other, then it's okay. But if it is far away from each other, means what? There is a huge difference, then it is okay or not okay? Not okay. So when it is not okay, do you have to start or do you have to apply your PS or not? What is PS, everyone? Professional skepticism. Do you have to start applying your questioning mind in that case? Yes, you have to start applying your questioning mind in that case. Everyone, Crystal, yes, Komal. It's like a tolerable misstatement. Yes, it's like a tolerable misstatement. So, little bit of 1 or 2 lakhs of difference I can manage. Okay, there might be ups and downs. But now the difference is 42 lakh rupees. That is something which is eye-catching. So, definitely I have every reason to go to the management and ask them about this ROMUM. Am I correct or not? This is what do you mean by analytical procedure, everyone. Any doubt in the page number 1 or there is no doubt in the page number 1? Everyone, please confirm in the comment box if anybody is having a doubt so far whatever I have told. If no doubt, we'll move to the next page. Write in the comment box, please. No doubt. Okay. No doubt. Okay. Great. So it means you understood what analytical procedures. It's a very simple thing, sir, in single word. Where you can save your time, save it. By using the which procedures? Analytical procedures. Where you think that analytical procedures are not possible, then the definitely second option is always there with you, TOD. What is TOD, everyone? Testing of details. But where you can save your time, better to save your time, apply your brain and establish some relationship between the transactions and use the analytical procedures at that point of time. Clear, everyone? Now, examples of analytical procedures having consideration of comparison of entities' financial information, which are comparable information for the prior period. Did I do the same thing while checking the liquidity of the company or not? Did I calculate the current ratio of 1 year or so many years? I calculated the current ratio of so many years. So when I calculated the current ratio of so many years, when I compared them with the previous years, did I come to know that whether my client is getting liquidity wise better or whether my client is getting liquidity wise poorer? Am I correct or not? I hope you understood the example number 1. Yes. Okay. Second point. Anticipated results of the entity such as budgets or forecast or expectation of an auditor such as estimation of depreciation. Analytical procedure basically is a completely estimation based. So you can say that like the management puts the estimations, while calculating the provision for doubtful debt or while calculating the provision for taxation. Analytical procedure is also an estimation based tool which the auditor uses. Like say for example, if you all remember, what is the depreciation rate for a machinery as per the income tax act? Plant and machinery mein
15%.
15%. So if you know that ki 10 crores of plant and machinery is there, and if this plant and machinery was same last year, so 10 crores ka approximately 15% if you'll calculate, can I say that it is 1.5 crores depreciation or not? This is called estimation. But when you actually saw it, it was written 1 crore 55 lakhs, something like that. Are you getting the point or not? Little bit up and down is allowed. But if it is being debited as 2 crore rupees, then the difference is higher or lower?
Higher.
Higher. Then in that case, you should apply your PS. What is PS, everyone? Professional skepticism. Did you get the point? This is what analytical procedures. Similar industry information. Now tell me, while calculating the, while passing the judgment on the Vodafone and Idea, did I compare the Vodafone and Idea with the industry first or not? Yes, I compared the Vodafone and Idea with the Reliance India Limited or with the Reliance Jio.
Lens G.
Jio. Why I compared the Vodafone Idea with the Reliance Jio? Because both belong to the which industry?
Same.
Telecom industry. Are you getting the point? So that is what all about. Are you getting the point? So you should know, you should calculate the industry averages, and by calculating the industry averages, compare it with your client. If your client is meeting the criteria, it's fine. If not meeting the criteria, it means you got your answer ki some problem is there. Now, like in the Jio, it was earning more than industry rate. Airtel, it was earning more than industry rate. But what was our Vodafone and Idea? Were they in the same direction or opposite direction? Opposite direction. It means some problem is there. Some areas are there. It means you already got an idea ki yes, Romum is definitely there. Did you get the point or not, everyone? This is what do you mean by which procedures? Analytical procedures. Anybody is having any kind of doubt so far? If no doubt, I can proceed to the next one. Clear? Okay. Now, say for example, tell me everyone, salaries and wages is a financial information or non-financial information? Salaries and wages is a financial information or non-financial information? Financial information. But number of employees is a financial information or non-financial information? Non-financial information. But do they have any kind of relationship with each other? Yes, that is called which relationship, everyone? Plausible relationship. Did you all understand the point or not? Now tell me, to understand the salaries and wages of the company, should I also know the number of employees or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes or not? This is what do you mean by which procedure, everyone? Analytical procedure. Crystal clear? Any doubt or no doubt? No doubt. So that now, why I gave you this example right now? Because like that, so many examples are going to come in the over the period of time. Remember one thing, this is a very simple standard. The more and more you will make it difficult, that is a different issue. But it is a very simple standard. One word standard, save your time. That's it. In case not possible, go for TOD. Otherwise, save your time with what? AP. What is AP, everyone? Analytical procedures. Make some plausible relationships between the financial information data and the non-financial information data, and try to do the evaluation of the financial information on the basis of that relationship. Clear? Now, various methods may be used. What they are saying in this point, various methods may be used to perform analytical procedures. These methods range from performing simple comparison to performing the complex analysis using advanced statistical technique. Analytical procedure may be applied to the consolidated financial statements, components, and individual elements of information also. Acha, everyone, please tell me one thing. Suppose this is a Reliance group. Give me the answer, everyone. It is a Reliance group in which Jio is also there, Reliance India Limited is also there, Reliance Fresh is also there, and Reliance Trends is also there. The total profits of the Reliance is 40,000 crores. This is the group profit. This is the group profit. Can anybody tell me out of these four companies of Reliance Group, which one is a profit making, which one is loss making, just by looking at 40,000 crore rupees of group profit? Can you tell me which one is a profit making company, which one is a loss making company? Can you tell or you can't tell? You can't tell. Why you can't tell? Because do you have their individual data or you don't have their individual data? You don't have their individual data. Now my question is, now this is called consolidated financial profits. This is called consolidated financial profits. Until and unless you don't check out their standalone financial statements, will you come to know that which one is a profit making subsidiary and which one is a loss making subsidiary? No, that is also known as analytical procedure. Did you get the point or not? That is also known as analytical procedure. So from there also you will only come to know when you will check out the individual components, each and every one. Did you get the point or not? Yes. Now see, therefore, we can say that analytical procedure may be segregated into major types as comparison of client with the industry data, comparison of client data with the similar prior period data, comparison of client data with the client determined expected results, comparison of client data with the auditor determined expected results, comparison of client data with the expected results using the non-financial data. So there are, what is being written here, everyone, try to understand. There are 5 different methods of comparison. How many methods we are going to learn now? 5 different methods of analytical procedure comparisons. If you all can remember, then please help me in writing. Anybody can unmute? Point number 1. Can we compare the client data with industry data? Will we get some results or not? Yes. If we'll compare the client data with the industry data, we'll definitely get some results. If we'll compare the client data with the client's expected results, if we'll compare the client's actual results with the client's expected results, will we come to know what the differences or not? Yes. If we'll compare the client's data with the auditor's expected results, then also we'll get some idea or not? Yes.
Yes.
If we'll get the client's data, if we'll compare the client's data with what? If we'll compare the client's data with what? Just now we have done 5 points or not? If we'll compare the client's data with what? Prior period. Client's data with what? Prior period data. Then also we'll get an idea. And if we'll compare the client's data with the client's expectations by using non-financial information, then also we'll get the doubt. So there are total 5 types of comparisons you can do. How many types of comparisons, everyone? 5 types of comparisons you can do, by which you will definitely, no. Second one is not same as the fifth one. Fifth one may we are doing the client's expectation comparison with its client's actual comparison, but by using the which information? Non-financial information. In the point number 2 may we are using the financial information. No need to write, because generally we do not write the word called financial information. Clear, everyone? So everyone again read this paragraph again. Read this paragraph from thus we can say that. Everyone, please read this paragraph from thus we can say that. Thus we can say that the analytical procedures, I'm talking about this paragraph, everyone. Please read it from here. Thus we can say that analytical procedures may be segregated into these 3 major types of comparison. Client with industry data, client with similar period data, client with the client determined expected results, client with the auditor determined expected results, and client with the expected results using which information? Non-financial information. So did you all understand? Did I write the same thing or not? Yes. So 5 comparisons: client data with the industry data, client data with the client's expected results, client data with the client auditor's expected result, client data with the prior period data, and client data with the client's expectations, everyone. Right or not? Now, what is the purpose and timing of analytical procedure that we have to understand? Acha, tell me everyone, why do we do the analytical procedure? Tell me the purpose of analytical procedure. What is the first thing comes to your mind which helps you in giving the answer ki why we should do the analytical procedure? Everyone, please give me the answer in the comment box. Or if you want to unmute and please give me the answer. Yes, Harish, very nice. To save the time. And at the same point of time, can I say that to reduce the workload? Yes, to find out the trends. Am I correct or not? So there can be so many purposes. There can be so many purposes. Everybody might be having their own reasons why I should. You can say that I'm not having that much of time in doing the audit. So to save my time, I may do the analytical procedure. So it can be one reason to somebody's else reason. Now, what is the purpose of analytical procedure? Let us understand now. And if there is any doubt, please let me know immediately. For instance, establishing the relationship that exists between the certain balances included in the balance sheet and statement of P&L account, comparing them with those existing between same set of balances in the previous year, recording the physical balances of assets with the relevant financial record, obtaining an account from the bankers, account receivable, account payable, reconciling with the relevant balances in the books of account, confirming amounts of outstanding income, expenditures by preparing reconciliation statement, etc. These are helpful in detection of unusual state of affairs and mistakes in the accounts. So I will ask you a very simple thing, guys. No need to read this big paragraph. Just tell me one thing. What do you understand by BRS? Everyone. Bank?
Bank record.
Yes, bank reconciliation statement. Can anybody tell me how do we do the BRS? If anybody is having an idea. Yes. Are we going to compare the company's bank account with the actual bank statement or not? So bank balance as per the bank will be compared with the bank balance as per the books. Now, there will be so many adjustments. What are the two types of adjustment basically? Checks deposited but not
But
cleared.
not.
Checks deposited but not paid. Are you getting the point or not? Plus and minus, plus and minus, plus and minus will do. And ultimately, if the balance is matching, then in that case, it is known as a good bank reconciliation statement. Am I correct, everyone? Yes or no? Yes. So basically, BRS is nothing but the analytical procedure only, na? BRS is nothing but the analytical procedure only, na? Now, say for example, if I want to say that in my household during the pre-corona time period, at that point of time, I was able to save only 50% of my total income of the month. But during the corona time period, I'm able to save 65% of my monthly income. Now tell me, what does that analysis shows? Am I able to save more during the corona or am I able to save less during the corona? What is the
During the
reason? What can be the reason? What can be the probable reason for that?
traveling expenditure.
Traveling expenditure, food expenditure. Due to the outside food, we have stopped eating outside food. Due to that, our expenditure on the food and expenditure on the traveling increased or decreased? Decreased. So 10 to 15% that change has come or not? Yes, this is also known as what? Analytical procedures. So analytical procedure is not only an audit technique. Analytical procedure is basically our day-to-day technique. Sir, BRS is not necessarily to be made right. I mean, nowadays due to internet banking, BRS utility is reduced. Yes, I could just give you the example. Nowadays, though, BRS is no more a manual item now. BRS is completely a computerized thing. Are you getting the point or not? Within a single second, you will come to know that where the changes have come, and everything is getting updated on real-time basis. You will get a message as and when you get the message. Okay, you will put the entry which was pending entry, receivable became received, and payable become paid. Am I correct or not? Yes. So that what brings an end to our page number 2 also, everyone. If there is any doubt in this page, please let me know. If no doubt, that we can move ahead. It's a very simple chapter. Obviously, little bit boring, but at the end of the day, it is a part of your portion. And why I'm reading each and every word in front of you? Reason is very simple, because you never know from which line they may ask you the MCQ question. So it's very much important from me and as from your point of view that we should read each and every word given in front of us. Now,
Sir,
yes,
in the example, the pilgrimage of invent place.
sorry, with example.
In previous examples, XYZ Limited.
Okay. Previous example. Okay, in the XYZ Limited, after applying analytical procedures as comparison of the gross profit ratio with that of the previous year, it is discovered that there has been fall in the ratio. Therefore, it became necessary for the auditor to make the further inquiries, as may be due to the pilferage of inventories or misappropriation of a part of the sale proceeds or change in cost of sales without corresponding increase in the sales in price. It's a very simple example, my friend. Here they are saying, what is your name?
Leo.
Yeah. Now see, try to understand what they are saying that. Tell me one thing, what is the formula of the GP ratio? Gross profit divided by sales into 100 or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So gross profit divided by sales into 100 of the current year, it was 35%, say for example. Last 5 years mein, it was average 40%, means 40% or above. Now tell me, this year decreased or increased?
Yes,
Decreased. Now, will you get a doubt in your mind ki yes, I should make a inquiry to my client ki why this has been decreased? Yes or no? So what
Yes.
can be the reasons? What can be the reasons of decrease? Tell me one thing. Gross profit comes in the trading account or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So trading account mein what kind of items are coming?
Yes, sales.
Yes. So tell me, it can be undervaluation of the sales. Reason can be?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Reason can be undervaluation of the closing stock also.
Yes, sir. Maybe.
Reason can be loss of the stock also.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Reason can be overvaluation of the opening stock also.
Yes.
Reason can be over recording or duplication of the purchase invoices also.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So there can be so many reasons. So what is the meaning of this example? Via this example, the lawmaker is trying to tell you that ki analytical procedures helps you in getting a base via which you can start asking the doubt or start asking the queries to your client. Are you getting the point or not? Which sometimes is not possible even if the things are there in front of you. Doing the test of details, first of all, is a consumption of lot of time. After that, if you will not get any kind of output, there will be a lot of irritation in the auditor's mind. That's why auditor first try to use the analytical procedures, and via analytical procedure, if he's getting such kind of, it's a very simple thing. In last 5 years, you are having the 40 or 50% of gross profit. Why suddenly it went down to 35%? I have every duty to ask these reasons to my client. Am I correct or not?
Yes.
The change in COS without increase in sale price means where it is written. Change in cost of sales without the corresponding increase in sales price. अरे cost of sales मतलब inflation came ना, raw material cost increased. Correct or not? Are you getting the point or not? Raw material cost increase. Now tell me one thing. It's a very simple thing. Due to the lockdown, so many things stopped getting manufactured. Due to that, so many things in India got already reasonably high. Are you getting the point? So that you can't control. And at the same point of time, government has fixed some prices of what? Essential commodities. Am I correct or not? Sometimes even though the price of the essential commodities is very high in the market, but you will still get it at the same selling price because government bears that loss. That is called increase in the cost of sales, but without increasing what? Sales price. Clear everyone? Any doubt or no doubt?
No, sir.
No doubt. Okay. Now, next thing what we have to understand, these are nothing but the examples only which are given. So let's read some examples so that you will get an idea. Okay, what do you mean by analytical procedures? Now, example number 2. On verifying the balances of sundry account receivables, means debtors, by obtaining the confirmation of their statement of accounts, it will be possible for the auditor to find out whether the discrepancies in the balance of an account receivable is due to the failure to debit his account with the cost of goods supplied to him, or is the result of non-adjustment of remittance received from the thing. Now, say for example, What is this example? They are saying that suppose there is one debtor. There is one debtor. Say for example, there is one debtor, and that debtor's balance in my books of account, it is showing 5 crore rupees. But when I send the PCR, everyone, what is PCR NCR? Do you remember in SA 505 we have done PCR NCR, positive confirmation request or negative confirmation request? When I send the PCR and NCR, that particular debtor send me a reply that in his books of accounts it is showing 4.5 crores only. Tell me, matching or mismatching? Tell me everyone, matching or mismatching? Mismatching. And how much mismatching? 50 lakh rupees mismatching. What can be the probable reasons, everyone? What can be the probable reasons of due to mismatching? The probable reason is very simple. I thought that I sold him the goods at 500 rupees per kg. But actually I sold him at 450 rupees per kg. I recorded at 500. Now tell me, did I over record the debtor or not? Yes or no? Yes. Or there can be another reason. There might be a possibility that 3 days back he came to my office and paid 50 lakh rupees, but I did not make the entry so far. Now tell me, if I did not make the entry in my books of accounts, is it still 50 lakhs of debtors or not? Or it is reduced? I did not make the entry so far. It will still show the 5 crores or not? Yes. So there can be, so by doing the analytical procedure, by doing the, taking the confirmation from the party directly, sometimes you automatically get an answer ki what can be the probable reason for that. So these are nothing but the examples which have been sorted for you to make you understand that what analytical procedure is all about. Let's say the another example. Similarly, it would be possible to compare the balances of the on the statement of P&L account with that of previous period. It would be possible to find out the reasons for increase or decrease in the amount of profits of those years. Yes, very much possible. By setting up certain expenses ratio on the basis of the balances included in the statement of P&L for the year under the audit, comparing them with the same ratios for the previous year, it is possible to ascertain the extent of increase or decrease in the various items of expenditure. I will ask you a very simple thing, guys. Very simple things. Tell me one thing. Suppose this is a P&L. In the P&L, repairs and maintenance is increasing year by year. It is what? Increasing year by year. Now tell me, how you will come to know that it is increasing year by year? What you will do? Say, pick up any two figures. Repairs and maintenance divided by net profit into 100. Some ratio will come or not? Repairs and maintenance divided by net profit into 100. Some figure will come or not? Now, that percentage you will calculate for the current year and calculate it for the last 5 previous years. If in the last 5 previous years the percentage is increasing, what is your interpretation of increase in the repairs and maintenance? That is it the time? Is it the time that the plant and machinery is getting new or plant and machineries are getting older day by day? Older day by day. And when the plant and machineries are getting older day by day, and their repairs and maintenance will decrease or repairs and maintenance will increase? Increases. That is a simple interpretation. Are you getting the point or not? That is what they are trying to tell you. Ki you can do the analytical procedure or you can simply apply the analytical procedure in any kind of situation. You should know how to apply it. Are you getting the point or not? Next example. An abnormal fall in the cost of manufacture or that in the administrative cost, apart from the economy in the expenses, there could be no provision or less provision for expenses incurred in the year. When it is suspected, the auditor should compare the entries in the outstanding book with those in the previous year. He must also check the vouchers for 1 month immediately before the close of the following year to verify that none of the expenditure in the accounts under audit have been charged to accounts of the following years. Now, very simple examples, everyone. You all know there is one concept called cutoff procedure. Can you please tell me what do you mean by cutoff procedure? Is anybody having an idea about the cutoff procedure? What do you understand by cutoff procedure?
Minimum that much will happen.
Sorry?
Minimum that much will happen.
Min-
Minimum.
minimum what? I
That
didn't
much
get.
of expenses will happen in future.
नहीं कट ऑफ प्रोसीजर का मतलब क्या होता है? टेल मी वन थिंग. टुमारो द कट ऑफ प्रोसीजर. यस, tomorrow the cut-off procedure is going to happen. Everyone please tell me what is the date going to be tomorrow?
Year end.
Year end. Tomorrow is going to be the year beginning. Today is year end. Am I correct or not? Tomorrow, is it going to be the 1st April or not? Yes. But tell me one thing. Does it matter to your father or mother who is doing a business, whether it is 31st March or it is 1st April? No, it doesn't matter to them. For them, it is a business day. It's a continuous process because business is a continuous process. But when it comes to auditing, does it matter or not? When it comes to auditing, does it matter or not? Yes. So why does it matter for the auditor? Whether the auditor will allow your mother and father to record the entries of the next financial year in the 2021 financial year? No. So for the auditor, it matters. But for your businessman, it doesn't matter. That is also called analytical procedure. Are you getting the point or not? Now, let me give you one example. It's a very simple example, everyone. Today is 31st March and 9 o'clock, my business shut down. It means I do not take orders after 9 o'clock. I was about to switch off my computer, 8:45. One mail comes and one call comes. He says that, sir, 50 lakh of purchase is there. Are you getting the point? It means I am selling and that person is buying. I told him, he said, delivery will take place on 7th April. I can't make you the delivery today, and for the next 6 days, my labor is off. Therefore, delivery will take place on 7th April. He said, it's okay, sir. No need, no issues. Delivery, I'll take it on 7th April, but you please send me the invoice immediately. I immediately opened the tally, made a sale of 50 lakh rupees, sales, debtors account debited to sales, and made the invoice, signed it, and immediately mailed him. Tell me, is this a sale of 2021 financial year, or is this a sale of 21-22 financial year?
2020.
Now, possession is going to be delivered on 7th April. It is just that I created the invoice and sent it on mail. Tell me, is this the sale of current financial year or next financial year? Everyone write in the comment box. Is it a sale of current financial year or next financial year? Next financial year. Okay. How many of you say that it is current financial year? Anybody who would like to give me the answer? Is it a part of current or next? Please unmute yourself and tell me. How many of you think that it is a current financial year, not next? Komal to saying, I think Komal only, right? Komal only has given the answer. It is next. First of all, to tell me, did you all understand this example which I told you? Yes. So Komal, you are saying it is the next financial year. Can you please tell me, Komal, why? Unmute yourself and tell. Possession and ownership transfer in the next year. How many of you agree with the Komal's answer? She's saying that possession and the ownership is getting transferred on 7th April. Is she correct or she's wrong?
Correct.
So you also agree that it is a sale of next year. Okay. Anybody who can prove me or say me that why it is not a sale of next year, why it is a sale of current year? Anybody would like to say that? It's a very logical answer actually.
Invoice based.
Yes, what's your name please? Tell me.
Saving.
Okay, please tell me. What's
So
your answer?
liquidate in the month of March.
Yeah, everyone, please try to understand. How many of you know AS9? What is AS9? AS9 talks about revenue recognition. Am I correct or not? Everyone, please tell me. AS9 talks about revenue recognition. And what do you mean by revenue recognition, everyone? Revenue recognition का मतलब क्या होता है? Once the risks and rewards in the property are transferred to the seller, irrespective of its possession, sale shall be recognized immediately. Am I correct or not? Until and unless there is a chance of irrecoverability of the same in the future. Is it what AS9 talks about or not? Tell me one thing. Did I already make the invoice and sent it to my client or not? Tell me everyone. Did I already make the invoice and sent to my client or not? Yes. And remember one thing. The moment you made the invoice, the risks and the rewards in those goods have already been transferred, Komal. Did you understand? Ownership, risks, and rewards are already being transferred. Only possession is pending, Komal. Are you getting the point? Only possession is pending. So due to that, it will not be the sale of 21-22 financial year. It will be the sale of 2021 financial year. This is called analytical procedure. Did you all understand or not? How many of you understood this example? Please write in the comment box those who understood. Please write yes. Did you understand the point? Because AS9 said, now tell me, is there any chance of irrecoverability? No. He has already transferred the payment to me. I have already sent the invoice to him. Only one thing is left. What is that? Only the possession is going to take place. So that possession will not decide whether it is a revenue of next year or this year. It is a risk and rewards in the things it will decide whether it is next year or current year. Crystal clear, everyone? So like that, so many examples are given. Now, often it is possible to independently verify the correctness of some of the items of the expenses included in a statement of P&L account. For example, cost of importing goods, which are subjected to an ad valorem duty at uniform rate, can be verified from the amount of duty paid. Similarly, a quantity of sugar sold by the sugar mill can be verified independently from the amount of excise duty paid. Thus, it is important to note that analytical procedures may identify the existence of unusual transaction or events and amounts, ratios, trends that might indicate matters have been audit implications. Unusual or unexpected relationships that are identified may assist the auditor in identifying the ROMUM, especially the ROMUM due to what? Fraud. Are you getting the point? Let me give you one example, everyone, so that you can understand it. I think this example I already. Acha, tell me one thing, guys. There is a lots and lots of profit. But company is not paying dividend. And situation number two, there's a less and less of profits. Company is still paying the dividend. Why? Can anybody analyze the situation? There were lots and lots of profits, but the company did not pay even a single rupee of dividend. But when there were losses and losses, no profits at all, very minute or minor, or you can rather say negligible profits were there, but still company was paying the dividend. Why?
First one, there may be a capital gain.
There may
Compared
be
to
a
profit and loss.
okay, there may be a capital profit. Opportunities exist in the first one. Can you elaborate, Komal? What's your name? Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Now, right.
Okay, okay. So you are saying that there may be a capital gain in the first one. That's why they were not paying the dividend. And why the hell they were paying the dividend when there were no profits? Why company would like to pay the dividend even if they can't afford to pay it?
Company make a keep a reputation.
Yes. So tell me one thing, whether the trust and confidence of the shareholder is very important or not.
Yes.
Whether, can I say that in the case number two, they were trying to, what do you say, maintain that trust and confidence only?
Yes.
But let me tell you one thing, it is a clear-cut case of fraud, everyone. It's a clear-cut case of fraud, everyone. Why it is a clear-cut case of fraud? This is what has happened in the Satyam scam. If you all remember, do you all have an idea of Satyam scam? Satyam Computers. It was
Yes.
one of the biggest corporate scam in India. That is what he did it for 8 years. From 2000 to 2008, everyone. He did not even make a single profit. But still he was issuing the dividend to all the shareholders. What is the reason? Because inside he was eating the shareholders' money. But shareholders are fool fellows. They were getting happy with what amount?
Dividend amount.
Dividend amount only. So they kept their mouth shut. Ultimately, by the 2008, when the whole money was consumed by the Ramalinga Raju, at that point of time, the owner of the Satyam Computers, later on he came to the public and said that I did a fraud of 57,000 crore rupees. Now tell me, now the things can be returned to back into the normal situation or the damage is already done?
Already done.
So tell me, what was the intention of Ramalinga Raju was here? Was it an unintentional mistake or it was an intentional fraud?
Intentional.
That is what the auditor always have to be alert. He has to see these kind of things. When there is a lot of dividend, when there is a lots and lots of profits in the last 4 or 5 years, you did not pay even a single dividend. Why? Because that time they were eating the money. Are you getting the point? But when there are lots and lots of losses are there, why you are paying the dividend? Because they want to maintain the trust and confidence so that they can like make the fool out of the shareholders so that the things will not come in public. These are all known as nothing but called as what? Frauds and errors, everyone. Did you get the point or not? This is another example of analytical procedure where your brain is required to be used. I hope all of you understood the purpose of analytical procedure, everyone. Did you all understand the purpose of analytical procedure?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now we are going to understand timing of analytical procedure. On what time the analytical procedure must be applied. Now see, analytical procedures are required in the planning stage. It is often done during the testing stage. In addition, there are also required to be done at the completion stage. The lawmaker is a very useless fellow. He simply can say that it is required at every stage. Now see, what is the timing of analytical procedure, everyone? Is it required at a planning stage? Yes. Is it required at the execution stage? I will come back to you. Yes. And it is also required to be made at the time of what? Completion stage. Okay, everyone, please tell me how you can justify that the analytical procedure is required in the planning stage. Tell me, everyone, did we apply RAP first or not? Everyone, please tell me yes or no. Just keep on telling yes or no. Did we apply RAP or not? Yes. From the RAP, we come to know about what?
Romum.
ROMUM. ROMUM helps us in understanding whether to go for TOC or whether to go for substantive procedure. Am I correct or not? Now tell me, this is nothing but called what? Which procedure? Analytical procedure. So can I say that planning stage is justified now? Yes or no? Yes,
Yes.
planning stage may justified now. Now, my question is, how analytical procedure is used at the execution stage? Just now I told you, while verifying the books of accounts, you will calculate some GP ratio. And if the GP ratio of the current year is very less as compared to the previous so many years, what can be the probable reasons, everyone? If the gross profit ratio of the current year is very much, what do you say, different from the previous years, very much less from the previous years, what can be the probable reason of that?
Underestimate the sales.
Hmm.
Poor valuation of stock.
Yes. So tell me one thing, is it execution stage or not? When you are doing the audit, right? Yes, yes, Komal, it can be economic conditions also. Next one, completion stage. Everyone, please tell me, am I going to check the liquidity and the solvency of the company at the planning stage, at the execution stage, or at the completion stage? Completion stage only. Now tell me, completion stage means it is the time to give the conclusions or not? Yes, it is time to give the conclusion. Audit is over. So at that point of time, in my auditor report, I would like to talk about the liquidity, solvency. So at that point of time, you need to do the analytical procedures at the completion stage as well. So remember one thing, like planning. Everyone, please tell me, planning is a one-time process or planning is a continuous process?
Yes.
Continuous process, and it is also flexible process. Does it keep on changing at every stage or not? Yes, same is the case with the analytical procedure. So analytical procedure का timing बताओ. If they will ask you that question in the examination, कि what is the timing of analytical procedure? What you will write? The timing of analytical procedure is what? Planning, execution, and what? Completion. So it is required at planning phase also, testing phase, execution phase also, completion stage also. Clear or not? Yes, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think there was an internet glitch. And